Hello there. I'm Scotty Jordan, and it's time once again. It's the 31st of October. It's Halloween. You know what that means. It's time for another 31 on 31, and this time, we're doing the director edition, horror director edition. The horror directors we have, I picked this whole thing a year ago, and some of the directors changed, but I picked me, my personal directors. If I do this again, there'll be different ones, but I have to go back and look at, because I'm not gonna remember off the top of my head because I'm me. Should have brought this out before I pressed record. There's so much going on. When I went get ready to press record, and it goes to an ad, and then it's multiple ads, and you have to sit through the multiple ads because they won't let you skip any of them. I'm just saying. Here. Okay, so we have John Carpenter, Wes Craven. John Carpenter, and that's 6 movies. Wes Craven with 5 movies. Mike Flanagan has 4 movies. James Wan, 5 movies. Stuart Gordon, 2 movies. Eli Roth, 3 movies. Sam Raimi, 3 movies. And Brian Yuzna, 2 movies. So this is my personal choices. Alright. So if you paid attention to my intro video to Halloween Horror Month that I did, you know what movies are in here. And if you paid attention to all of those, you probably know what my number 31 is going to be. My least favorite of all of these, number 31... Realize I had it backwards. So my number 31 is... the director who gets the honor of having the worst movie, in my opinion, on this 31 on 31 is Eli Roth, and that is Knock Knock. I can see how some people can like this movie, but I'm sorry. This movie gets no sympathy from me, because I just don't... The best thing about this is Keanu Reeves. It was free pizza! It was free pizza! You sucked my cock! You sucked my cock! Just like, it was free pizza! But this guy... I just don't understand. If you don't know what this is, it's like a psychological thriller type movie. Keanu Reeves is this guy who has to stay home on Father's Day of all days to work on a project while his family goes on vacation. 2 mysterious women show up and seduce him into having sex, and then they make his life a living hell. And the reasoning, as they go around finding cheaters and teach them a lesson for cheating. The whole problem with that is he has never cheated on his wife till this one specific moment. It's not like he was serial cheating, having a woman every 5 minutes. No. This is the first time he ever cheated. So their motivation makes no sense. We've been watching you. Well, if you've been watching him, then you know he wasn't cheating. It just makes no sense to me. And the ending with him, spoiler alert, of course, for all these movies, where he's just... They don't kill him because they'd rather live with his decision, which wasn't his fault because you forced yourselves on him. Yes, you know, there is certain ways around it, but they basically assaulted him. They would not leave, and they pulled him into the shower. It was... He didn't say no, but still. They seduced him. They did this, and I don't know. It just... He's stuck, buried up to his head, to his neck, and they shared this video all over. By the way, that's getting ripped off of Facebook real quick. That's nudity. You're not gonna, I don't know. It's just... This movie has always rubbed me the wrong way, and... No. Number 30 is a movie that could have had something to it had there not been issues. And this is the worst film of Wes Craven of these lists, and it's Cursed, which was supposed to be a reinvention of the werewolf genre. And it was supposed to have Skeet Ulrich and Corey Feldman and a bunch of other actors in this movie. And it was going to be something different. They had some decent effects and they had decent things going. And Harvey Weinstein, for some reason, looked at this and went, nah, this is not working, and ordered reshoots. The problem is, those other actors didn't come back for reshoots, so they recast certain roles. The main characters, Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg, were not meant to be brother and sister, but we'll change to brother and sister for this. They had it in a whole extra subplot where it's revealed that Joshua Jackson, the boyfriend of Christina Ricci's character, was the big villain the whole time when it was supposed to be Judy Greer's character. It's a mess. I don't think it's completely terrible. It has redeeming qualities, of course, but it's got the Wes Craven stuff all over it. It works, but I just feel like for when you're trying to reinvent the werewolf genre, this is not it. And it just proves that for the most part, there's sometimes they make good decisions, but producers and studios need to just stay out of filmmaking and let them make the film they want to make. And I know Wes Craven said, we need the director's cut. I know he's dead, doesn't matter. I don't know, but... Alright, this is where Scotty gets it put in hot water. So, this is the worst. Number 29 is the worst of Sam Raimi's movies that I have on this list, in my opinion. And it's The Evil Dead. I know, you're throwing tomatoes. I know. Boo this man. I know. But I have said over and over again, I don't think The Evil Dead is as good of a movie as everyone puts it out to be. It's fine. I think it's well done. But it was done on a studio budget. Like a student film budget, I mean. It was done on a student film budget. They jerry-rigged a lot of things. And that merits it. That gives it a lot of merit. Doesn't make it spectacular or anything. And people go out of their way to praise this movie. And it's a good movie. I'll give you that. I've just never seen it as this big cult, this big classic horror film that everybody else sees it. All the sequels and remakes and whatever are better than this. Okay, I've seen rankings of these films, and they put this at number one, and I go, why, how? Everything about the other movies in this franchise is better than anything in this movie. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to shit on it. It's a good movie, objectively. Every movie in the Evil Dead franchise is pretty good. Someone says, what's a franchise that has all good movies in it? Evil Dead. This is still a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like it like the rest of the movies I do. Like I do the rest of the movies. I'm sorry. If I'm going to watch an Evil Dead movie, it's mostly the remake. I'll put on Army of Darkness. Evil Dead 2 is something I'll put on once in a while. I don't know about the new one, but that's still better made than this one. I'm just saying. Alright. After that, we get the worst Brian he does in the film, The Dentist. Now, Dentist is also a good movie. All these are good with the exception of the last two. So, from Evil Dead on, from number 29 on, these are all good movies. To a point. The last two, maybe not so much. The Dentist is a good film, and it's Corbin Bernsen. He plays this dentist who's slowly losing his mind. He sees his wife is cheating on him, loses his mind, he starts to... If you have a phobia of, dental work, or teeth being pulled, or something like that, if you have a fear of dentist drills, don't watch this movie. But it's for all intents and purposes a good film. It just, I don't know, it's lesser than the other ones on this film. on this list. I can speak English. I know I can. Number 27 is Shocker, a Wes Craven film. And this was the first time watch for me. And I liked it. But I found too many comparisons to the horror show, or House 3, as you call it. And I don't know which one does it better. On one hand, you have Mitch Pileggi, who's great, but you have Brian James, who's also great. So, and you have Lance Henriksen in that one. In this one, it's some guy. Peter Berg, I want to say. It's a kid with psychic visions, which has to be thrown into every one of these movies after Nightmare on Elm Street, I guess. But, yeah, I think it's well done. I don't know. And I'm still struggling into whether it's this one or the horror show feels like it has less of a budget than this one. But it's very similar. You get the turkey thing in that one, and in this one, I don't know, but I think it's a fun time. Number 26 will be the worst film for James Wan on this list. Dead Silence. And it kind of hurts me to say that because I've always liked this movie. But when going through this list, I'm like, yeah, it probably is the worst one of these that I have. A lot of people crap over this movie. I still think it's good, inherently good. What it is, this guy, Jamie Ashen, he receives a puppet, and his wife gets murdered, and he goes to investigate this puppet. It's connected to a legend from his hometown called Mary Shaw. Beware the stare of Mary Shaw, Beware the stare of Mary Shaw, she has no children, only dolls. If you see her in your dreams, be sure you never ever scream, or she'll rip your tongue out at the seam. And of course, even though these people know the legend, they see her to go, ah! And they get their tongue ripped out anyway. Even Jamie in the end, spoiler of course, he sees her and he's just like, ah. Like, I understand fear can control you, but it just, I don't know. I do like the twist. I think it's one of my favorite twists when it's revealed that his dad was a puppet the entire time. Spoiler alert, of course, but I love that twist. I also say it's one of my favorite twists in a horror movie because you don't realize it, because she's not moving in the other scene. They only do that to get you. So, number 25 is Hostel. Now, I like the first Hostel. The first two, I think, all three it is. I don't think are that bad. The third one is the worst, but I think each one has its own merits. The first one is objectively the best, but you got to remember this is an Eli Roth movie, so all the characters are shit. It's like, do you want to watch an Eli Roth movie or a Rob Zombie movie? What's the difference? All the characters are shit. I guess Eli Roth writes better than Rob Zombie does. Sometimes good characters survive, where in Rob Zombie's movie only the bad characters win. Even the characters who are supposed to be bad guys in The Devil's Rejects die at the end of Devil's Rejects because they're the good guys now, only to be brought back later. I don't know. But there's these group of friends on a European tour of Slovakia, which Eli Roth is no longer welcome in because people got pissed off about this movie. That's not how we are in Slovakia. I don't know Slovakian accent, but and then they end up at this hostel, and it's a trap, and people are sent into this club where people kill people for money. They pay to kill people, is what I'm saying. So I don't know, but Number 24, Drag Me to Hell. And I know you're probably wondering, Scotty, you hate that movie. I don't hate it. I like it until the ending. It's one of those movies that is really good until the ending. Because to this day, and I will die on this hill, the ending makes no sense. I don't care what you try to put the logic in. She has to make the button a present for it to work. No. Justin Long is holding the button when hell comes over. He should be pulled into hell. And Much like I mentioned with Knock Knock, what is the worst fate? To die or to live with the terrible decision? This whole thing was her fault. I don't think Sam Raimi sees the same thing that I see when I watch this movie. She caused this. It's her fault. I know she didn't mean it, but she caused this woman to be kicked out of her house, which caused her to have a heart attack and die. And now this is revenge. What is greater revenge, right? What did this woman left her house so much, and it caused her to die afterwards. So now, what is the perfect thing for this? To take her boyfriend, who she loves so much, and now she has to live with that decision that got her boyfriend killed. That, to me, is a better dark ending than what we get, because her getting dragged to hell is cliche even then, and such a predictable ending. I see it on all these most shocking ending thing. Oh, you didn't see it coming. Yes, you do. Because it's the most obvious thing in the world. That twist at the end is the most obvious twist you can have. Where, like, I've even seen some people say that as soon as they find it on the ground, people are like, oh, that's not going to be the button. Because they never show it. Because if it was going to be the button, she would have looked in there to make sure. But she doesn't. So you knew it wasn't the button the whole time. Everything up to the ending is good. If you ended after she buried Mrs. Ganesh and you just roll credits as she crawled out of there, fine. But the ending is crap. And that's why it's this low. Otherwise, it probably would be higher. But look at that. I like the Steelbook. So I bought the Steelbook. I like the movie. I mean, I bought the Steelbook for Ouija, but it's a Scream Factory. So number 23 is going to get me in trouble too. But I will tell you this. It is the worst John Carpenter film on this list. But I still think it's a good movie. It's just, out of all of these, I think I've watched it the least. It's The Fog. The Fog is a good movie. It's 10 times better than that stupid remake. And I used to like the remake. I used to watch it all the time. I thought it was good. Because Tom Welling was in it. Even Tom Welling will tell you it's shit. He is. On the top of the podcast, he said, I was in this crappy horror movie. It was called The Fog. It sucked. He doesn't like horror movies anyway. But even Michael Rosenbaum, who is a horror fan, is like, yep. You know what he should have done? And this is a tribute to Michael Rosenbaum. When they ask you to be in that movie, you should have told him to put an egg in his shoe in and beat it. Yeah. But The Fog is good. One big negative, no mustache on Tom Atkins there, but it's a really good movie. It's got a nice horror atmosphere. The fog, the creatures look real good. It's John Carpenter, so of course it's going to be good. But out of all of his movies I have on this list, it is the least because I've only watched it twice. So it's going to have the least pullback for me. It's going to have the least nostalgia, the least, Sam Raimi, this is the best Sam Raimi movie on this list. At number 22. So we're done with him. With Darkman. Yes, this is technically a horror movie. It's got horror elements. Liam Neeson's performance in this is fantastic. This is a proof of concept for Spider-Man. There's a lot of goofy stuff in this. But I really like this movie. Better than the other two because I have fun with it. I've watched this twice now. I have fun with it. I need to do the sequels. I know I do. But, yeah. Number 21. We're back to James Wan with Malignant. And I don't know what happened, but when this came out, people were gushing over this. And now, all of a sudden, it's a bad movie. I don't get it. This is one of the most creative horror movies I've ever seen. Again, much like with the twist for Drag Me to Hell, when everyone said that, oh my god, it's so surprising. And now like, it's so obvious. No, it fucking isn't. Because if you were to tell me that you figured out very quick that it was her twin brother, her, what do you call it, twin brother, that's attached to the back of her head. No, you did not figure that out. I'm sorry. There's no way. There's no way. I thought this was a return to form for James Wan after doing some non-horror films. This was 2019, right? 2021, because he did Furious 7 and then he did Aquaman, and then this is back to horror, and it's a return to form. I still really like this movie, and I want to get the Blu-ray, but yeah. All right, number 20, Thanksgiving. This is one I've only seen once, but I can tell you it's better than Hostel. Still got some crappy characters because, of course, it's Eli Roth. What are you gonna do? But I like the holiday setting. This is another one where it's like, oh, the twist is obvious. Kinda. But, like, I don't think it's as obvious as you think it is. And I only caught on when as I watched the Dead Meat Kill Count for this, it's when she finds him unconscious, and then as soon as she goes in to the room and sees Bobby, he comes running up, and it's like, that's too convenient. As soon as she walks in, he's like, oh, huh, oh. There had to be, in retrospect. I didn't say it in my review, but in retrospect, it's like, yeah, that's very obvious, But yeah, I think it's a good movie, and I can't wait for the sequel. We're supposed to get it this year. I don't think we are, because I've heard nothing. There's been no trailers, and it's October right now, and we would have got a trailer by now, so I think it's coming out this year, but, Number 19 is another John Carpenter movie. That's Christine. It's a Stephen King adaptation. You shitters. But yeah, I've seen this now 3 times, and this movie's fantastic. This was a gift to me by Big LT. Gift to me by Big LT. It's the 4K, if you believe it, but yeah. And yeah, it's this Arnie. He gets this car and it's possessed. In the book, it's possessed by this guy and it starts to possess him. But here, you don't know if it's the car or if it's Arnie. And even there are some people today who are confused on what it is. People say, oh, it was the car the whole time. Oh, it was Arnie. Arnie's driving the car. It's him. And I say it's both. The car is possessing Arnie and Arnie is driving the car. But there's spectacular kills. The score is great. It's John Carpenter, so of course it's going to be a good score. It is a great film. Number 18, Dr. Sleep. So, I like this movie. I guess I'm not as high on it as other people are, but I really do like this movie. My problem is it's a little bit too long. The theatrical version is 152 minutes. That is 2 hours and 32 minutes. And there's a theatrical cut. It's 180 minutes long. I'm sorry. There's a director's cut. Excuse me. It's 180 minutes long. The director's cuts should be shorter, not longer. And I've never seen the director's cut because I'm not sitting there for 3 hours. Okay? Ain't happening. So, I watched 152 one. And I've only watched this maybe once, but I know enough about it. I think it's so great. I think Ewan McGregor is really good in this. I think that Rebecca Ferguson. Let me make sure I'm right. Yep, it's great as Rose the Hat. And, yeah. It's great. The problem where it bogs up to me is not just the runtime, but where you fuel the runtime is when they get to the Overlook Hotel. Because that is 100% tacked on to this movie. Because in the book, the Overlook Hotel explodes, where in Kubrick's The Shining, it doesn't. And all this ending does is give Stephen King the satisfaction of seeing his book ending of The Shining in theatrical film. That's all it does. Because that's exactly what happens. And I kind of rolled my eyes when the first time I watched it. I'm like, oh, really? That's all it is. It just wanted to give him the ending, but it's still a good film. Number 16. No, I looked at the wrong one. Number 17 is Cabin Fever. Let me look. I do believe this is the best. Yep, I believe so. This is the best Eli Roth movie on this list. Cabin Fever. So, I know a lot of people disagree with me. This is my favorite of his because I have history with this movie. This is one I caught part of it on a late night showing on one of the movie channels back in the day, but we had this at the house, or not the house. Did we? No. I don't know. I watched it. I got the collection. I know I'd seen it before the collection. I watched it somewhere, but I just like this movie. Justice for Joey, because he wasn't infected, and then they did that remake, which was shot for shot, and then ruined the ending by showing that Joey was infected, because in that version of the movie, he didn't do the bet where he would only drinking beer the whole time. He was drinking water in that version, so he got infected. That ruins the ending. It makes Joey less sympathetic, even though he's an asshole throughout the entire movie. But he survived. He wasn't infected. He gets shot. That also feels like an ode to Night of the Living Dead, when Ben gets shot, even though he's not infected. Here, they changed that, and now he's infected, and they shoot him. So they kind of ruined that. Number 16. I have come to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I am out of bubblegum. They Live. John Carpenter film. I love this movie. I remember watching it on TNT as a kid, and I bought the DVD later as an adult. I don't know why it took me so long to get it, but then the Steelbook I got from Walmart is just fantastic for that. And I got the Blu-ray and the 4K, and yeah. While that fight scene between them goes on way too long, people say it's one of the best fight scenes in film history. It just goes on and on. Put on the glasses. No, and it just keep, and I love the whole thing. Buck Flowers, yeah, George Buck Flowers, he's a homeless guy, and all of a sudden now he's not, and yeah. Final one of this stack. Number 15, and I think... No. Number 15. Ouija, Origin of Evil. Pay no attention to the piece of shit on top. Ouija, Origin of Evil. Was a big surprise because, while I didn't hate the first Ouija movie, I thought it was just like, whatever. And then this next one came out. There was going to be a sequel. It's a prequel. And it blew me away. It's fantastic. It makes everything about the first one better. Still can't watch the first one. I tried to. I pulled it up on Vudu one time, or Fandango, whatever you want to call it, trying to watch it, and I barely got 10 minutes in. But this is the great sequel. Lulu Wilson's performance is fantastic. Without her performance, I don't think the movie would have succeeded as much, but it's really good. They do retcon certain things from the first one. Like, a big thing is in the first one, they say that she used to do her seances in the basement room. But in this one, they never go to the basement room till the climax of the film. But in the first one, the stuff was in there. So did Lena, that's the older sister's name, right? Did the older sister move everything in there so that one day someone will come looking for a question and she can lie? Otherwise, it makes sense. Next stack, we have number 14, In the Mouth of Madness. Do you read Sutter Kane? Yeah, this is Sam Neill plays an insurance investigator. I think he is. Special investigator John Trent. To try to find Sutter Kane, he's sent by Charlton Heston. Yeah. He of Planet of the Apes fame. To find him, and everything goes down the water hole. It's very H.P. Lovecraft. It's very Lovecraft. You know, got the like the horror's very. It's not inherently Lovecraft, but it's very much in the spirit of Lovecraft, and it's very well done. All right. Now, I think I can say without a doubt, number 13 is the best Mike Flanagan movie on this list, and that's Oculus. And I'll stand by that. I think Oculus is his best movie. It was one of his first ones. What it is there's this brother and sister when they're kids. Their dad brings home, they move to this new house, and he brings with him this mirror that starts to cause their all hell to their lives, and which ends up in the death of their mother after she goes insane, and their father at the hands of the younger brother, who ends up getting taken away to a mental facility. Now, all these years later, the kid gets out of the mental facility, and the sister wants to take care of this mirror once and for all. And while he's been sort of brainwashed by the mental facility to believe it was all in his head, she doesn't believe that, and then now it starts like a game of cat and mouse with this mirror and whatnot's going on. It's very well done. And while the ending is one of those endings where you just go, do you really need to end that way? It does work. All right, number 12. James Wan is back with Insidious. The first one. The first one, or counting the first one. Which I think the third one might be the best. I don't know. I think I put the first one in my ranking. I don't know. But the first Insidious is really good. You know what it is. I don't have to explain what that is to you. But it's really well done. It's got those scares. To this day, that jump scare of when the mom, Josh's mom is looking and he moves his head and you get the, yeah! It works. To this day. Tiptoe through the window. I drove my son crazy. I watched all these movies with him, and I drove him crazy with that song. So, and yeah. Hold on. I gotta fix my belt. Alright, number 11. We're almost there. Number 11 is Red Eye. And this is a really good thriller by Wes Craven. No, it's not. Yeah, it is, but it's a really good thriller by Wes Craven. What I was saying, no, it's not, too, is I thought this was the highest one on the list. And I said, no, it's not. There's at least 2 more. There's 1 more. There's 2 more. There's 2 more. There's 2 more Wes Craven movies on this list. There better be, because you're like, wait a minute. There are 2 we haven't seen yet. This is a really good thriller. And it starts off sort of like a romantic comedy type movie. And then once they get on the plane, Cillian Murphy, I say it right, flips on a dime. He's no longer Mr. Nice Guy. He is now, I work for these people and you're going to do what we say or taking the plane down. And yeah, it becomes one of those little, it's very well done. Brian Cox is in this movie with the dyed hair for some reason. Right there, that's Brian Cox. You think that looks like Brian Cox? He's had gray hair since like 1995. But yeah, really good movie. I had to snag the Blu-ray, the 4K. I mean, because this is beautiful. Look at that slip. That is beautiful. All right, now we're in the top 10. I'm gonna stack these over here so we can see the top 10 going. Top 10, baby. Let's piss some people off. Oh. Because I know that my number 1 is not your number 1. Your number 1 would be my number 3. We'll just go there. Anyway, number 10 is Hush, Hush. I thought I heard you calling my name. The fact that that's not in this movie, Hush. This is the best Mike Flanagan movie on this list. Yep. Did I say Oculus was? Sorry. This was it. I forgot about this one. This is the best Mike Flanagan one on this list. Sorry. Hush is a really good movie. It was a Netflix film. Then they're like, nah, and took it off. And they couldn't find it anywhere. And then Mike Flanagan's like, well, I'm going to get the rights back to it. And he did. And it was streaming on Tubi. And they released the 4K. And there's no slip. But much like with Red Eye, I had to grab it because I had to have my own copy. What it is this woman. She's riding in this cabin in the woods type thing. It's a house in the woods or whatever. She's deaf and she's mute. So she can't say anything. And this guy sneaks in, as you can see. and she's got to survive the night. And it's done really well. You got Kate Siegel, Mike Flanagan's wife. And it's one of those things where, you know what? If your wife can actually act, your movie's going to be good, Rob Zombie. Yeah, she's good in this. John Gallagher Jr. plays the bad guy. I want to say, yeah, Michael Trucco is in this. Yeah. Very well done. And it's one of those things where I thought, it's going to be too quiet. They do a lot in this movie to make sure, even though it's quiet, there's not a lot of dialogue, it works. Unlike that Silent Night movie I watched. Like, that was just kind of, because like they're like, oh, there's no dialogue, but there's still no one talks. I don't know. Number 9 is going to be From Beyond. This movie is fantastic. If you haven't seen this movie, what this is it is this scientist, Dr. Pretorius, El Doctor Pretorius, according to this Spanish back thing. Dr. Pretorius, not to be confused with the Pretorius from the Bride of Frankenstein. No. Woman. He's doing this experiment that kind of opens up a portal to the other world. And it's to mess with your pineal gland in your forehead. Jeffrey Combs is his assistant, and he flees the place, and they think he's responsible for the guy's murder, missing. And then this, I can't read this, so I don't know what it is. Barbara Crampton plays this psychiatrist or something that wants to prove something's going on, so they bring him back to the house with Ken Foree, and they end up redoing the experiment, which makes all sorts of things weird. And there's a scene of Barbara Crampton in a bra and underwear, which, for Barbara Crampton, it's probably a little bit too subtle back then, especially with Reanimator, which we'll talk about later. But yeah. Number 8 is going to be The Conjuring. The Conjuring. And this blew people away. I went to the theater to see this. I saw the trailers and was like, this looks like pretty good. And you go to the theaters, it is very creepy. I watched this. This is another one I watched with my son, and he was very... My son is quiet during a movie. Well, he's always quiet during a movie. When he's just like this at the screen the whole time, you're doing good. I used to have a slip that was lenticular. I don't know what happened to it, but I used to. I wish I could find it. Probably threw it away. But, yeah. What else can I say? It's The Conjuring. And I know that the real life people were charlatans. But you got to separate the real life people from the movie versions. The movie versions are very well done, very good people. Because this is presented as being real in all these. Where in the real world it wasn't. But I do believe in the supernatural. Number 7. Society. This is the best Brian Yuzna film. Yep. And you tell the stark differences in these when he only has 2 movies on here. The Dentist was number 28, and this is number 7. You can tell how much better this movie is. And I know when you start watching this, you're not going to think that. By the end of the movie, I guarantee you are going to think this movie is great. I mean, not fantastic or one of the best, but it is the shunting that really sells this movie. For the most part, it is a thriller-type film with Billy Warlock trying to figure out what's going on with his parents and his psychiatrist and why people are acting weird and why, something's going on that keeps telling you it's going to be a great contribution to society. And then in the climax, once you get to the shunting, it flips on its head, and this movie just becomes fantastic. Reanimator may be a fan of body horror, but this one solidified it, and I got Arrow Blu-ray there. I will one day show this to my son, but not anytime soon. I don't think he can handle it yet. He's only 14, so... There are boobs in this, so maybe we'll wait. Number 6. Best James Wan movie on this list. It's Saw. It's Saw. Was there any question that that's what it was going to be? Saw. Do I need to explain what this is? You know what Saw is. It's a great film. And I really think people like sit on it. They're like, some sequels are better. The only one I could see ever being better is the second one. But I still don't think it's better than this. This is still the best one. And I really like it. You know, I like the 4K here. I have so many copies of this movie. I have this one. And I have the Steelbook. I have a Steelbook collection. And then I have all of these movies on Steelbook. Because I have the Steelbook collection with, I think Jigsaw is even in that one. And then I have Jigsaw. Then I have Spiral. Then I have Saw X. All on a Steelbook. But my nose itches so much. I don't mean to. Stop it. But yeah. Number 5. Nightmare on Elm Street. The Wes Craven classic from 1984. In which I saw Freddy vs. Jason first. I never get these posters. Don't make any sense. Like, what even is that? Is that supposed to be Freddy? It don't look like it. It doesn't even look like Nancy. The poster even has a thing, Nancy didn't know or something like that. It doesn't make, that's not Heather Langenkamp. Is it? That's not Heather Langenkamp. I don't know who that is. And why is she naked? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Or at least topless. See, if that was the cover, it'd make more sense. But yeah, it's Nightmare on Elm Street. What else can I say? Robert Englund is the man. Great gore effects. This is God. Great lines. They borrowed from Psycho with the twist that you think you're following Tina. Then, no, Nancy is the one. And it works for this one, not the remake. Because the actress who had playing Nancy in the remake couldn't give two shits about the movie. Anyway. Number 4 is the best Wes Craven movie on this list, and it is Scream. And again, do I need to say what Scream is? You know Scream. This is a classic. I saw this back in 1997 when I was 10, and I've loved it ever since. The sequels I like too. All of them. Even 3, even though I can say that is the worst. I still have fun with them. Yeah. Alright. Here's where more tomatoes will be thrown at me. Because everybody will put this as number 1. And I've said this is not the greatest horror movie ever made. There are at least 2 movies better than this movie. My number 3. It's Halloween. It's the best John Carpenter movie on this list. Halloween. Can I say that? It's the number 1 John Carpenter movie on this list. Can you say that? But it's number 3. And don't get me wrong. All 3 in these top 3, my top 5 are almost nothing wrong. This is an almost perfect movie. You have Donald Pleasance in a great role. Jamie Lee Curtis. That's my only problem with this movie is that Laurie Strode has always reminded me, oh, she's one of the greatest final girls. Sure, in Halloween H2O. But in the first 2 movies she's in, no. Here, she does fight back. She hits him with a knitting needle. She knocks him off the stairs. Doesn't do much. But there's not really, she doesn't really do much to become a final girl. And in the second one, she's comatose the whole movie. And it's Loomis who has to, it's time, Mike. And yeah, because she's just sitting there. It's not till Halloween H2O that she kicks ass. So yeah, that's why she's one of the greatest final girls. Yeah, from H2O on. But in the first 2 movies she's in, she's not. She's not that good in the first 2 movies. I know some of the acting in this movie, most of the acting. Lindsay, dog is barking again and getting on my nerves again. Can we do another take? No? Great! Great, Nancy. Next. Seriously. Every time I hear that line, I just go. And how many times does Linda have to say, totally, 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 totally? There are two good things about that woman, and we see them later in the movie. This movie is good. It's great. It's grand. But it's not perfect like everyone thinks it is. Okay? There are problems with it. It is great. I will say it's John Carpenter's second. I didn't realize that. This isn't the last one. I got one more. This is his second best movie in his filmography. It's a great movie, don't get me wrong, I love watching it. But there are problems with it, and people just refuse to acknowledge the problems. Like, no, you're wrong. It's a perfect movie. Everything is perfect. No. Number 2. Reanimator. And this is the best Stuart Gordon movie on this list. Which means that the worst one was From Beyond. But there's only 2, so yes. I love this movie. And the gore effects in this and Jeffrey Combs' performance just speak for itself. It's fantastic. I don't know. People like to sleep on this. It's 40 years old now. And every time I watch it, I love this movie. And you can't say, oh, because there's boobs in the movie. There's boobs in Halloween. But it is fantastic. And this is a long one. Number 1, without a doubt. And it's a John Carpenter film. It's The Thing. And it's no contest. This is the greatest horror movie ever made. And it's a remake. It's a remake. Just from the effects to the score. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. You don't realize it. That's the creature's heartbeat. So at the end of the movie, when the score plays, boom, 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 it means the creature's still out there. Even though the video game pretty much confirms that the last 2 at the end are not The Thing, still could have survived. Somehow. But, yeah. Kurt Russell's in this. We have a great cast. Kurt Russell. I only credit Kurt Russell, Keith David, T.K. Carter. Isn't that Knowles? I think, I don't know. Richard Masur, Wilford Brimley, diabetes. There's your joke. But the best line in this movie, there's some great lines. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But my favorite line comes from Gary. If you don't mind, I don't want to spend the rest of this night tied to this fucking couch. I love that line. I love that line. I do. I really do. And of course, another good line at the end. Yeah, fuck you too. Blows it up. Yeah, just mwah. What's that picture of Scorsese in that thing? Absolute cinema. That's what you need. You need this, he's called absolute cinema. Yes, yes. So there it is. So what are your thoughts on my list? What's your list? What would you would probably all rank Halloween number 1 because you have no originality. To each their own, I guess, but am I the one that dares to say Halloween isn't the best? I don't know. Sue me. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.